Ladies and gentlemen, it is bold prediction season. As of, about 11:30 this morning, the tweet went out. What is your boldest college football 2026 prediction you would bet your own money on? Here are the rules. We did this for 3 months last year. We're going to do it for 3 months again this year. I am taking 4 bold predictions per show, basically until August. And anybody who submits predictions that we put on air that rate 9.5 or higher on my boldness scale and get Chally of Supremacy. I think 3 of them last year. Is that right, Jesse? I think we ended up giving away 3 Chally of Supremacy. Of all the bold predictions we took, of all the nonsense we put ourselves through, including one that I'm about to share with you in a few moments, only 3 of you had 9.5 or higher boldness predictions that hit. Who will take home Chally this year? Well, in honor of bold prediction season being back tonight, we are actually taking 4 bold predictions on Chapter 1 of Bold Predictions that rate 9.5 or higher. Here's what they sound like. Jack from Daphne, Alabama. 10 of 12 college football playoff teams are repeats from last year. All right, that's a 9.75 for me. And I'm going to tell you why. 10 of 12 are going to be repeats? Well, here's the problem with that to me. Remember, 2 G5 teams made it last year. Tulane made it and JMU made it. Respectfully, I don't think either of them are making the playoff this year. And if I'm right about that, just off that information alone, Jack, you got to go 10 for 10 on the remaining teams that made it. And so that means Texas Tech's got to make it again, and Indiana and Ohio State and Oregon have to make it again. Bama's got to make it again. Oklahoma's got to make it again. Miami's got to make it again. And more importantly, Notre Dame can't make it in. Like Texas can't make it in. You got to hit the exact order in the SEC, and I think that's extremely unrealistic. Not to mention, it's playoff or bust for Lincoln Riley this year. Maybe Jack thinks he busts, but what if he doesn't? Maybe Lincoln Riley makes it. So this is at least a 9.75. So that's what bold prediction season is all about. Theoretically, we could see this, but it's a huge roll of the dice. Next up, we're headed to the Sooner State. Dean from Pensacola, Florida said John Mateer wins the Heisman. Oklahoma makes it to the Final Four. All right, we have some numbers available from FanDuel because this is a 9.5 on the boldness scale to me. And it's not that I think Mateer's going to be a bad player or Oklahoma's going to be a bad team, but that's not what he said. He said Mateer's going to win the Heisman and OU's going to make a semifinal, at least, in the college football playoff. So right now, what do we know here? We know that John Mateer's Heisman odds are 16th. He's got the 16th best odds to win the Heisman. Oklahoma, just to make the playoff, has the 13th best odds. Their over-under win total 7.5. Their odds to make the playoff are plus 260. Those odds are 13th best. And you're saying not only do they have to make it, they have to make it at least to the semifinal, which means they have to make the playoff and win either 1 or 2 games, depending on whether they get the first round bye or not. Obviously, there's heavy correlation here. If John Mateer wins the Heisman, Oklahoma probably had a great season. So OU's probably in the playoff at the very least if Mateer wins the Heisman. But even that's not enough. It's not even enough just for him to win it and them to make the playoff. What if they were to lose first game or second game? They don't make the semifinal. So because of all those things just having to go right, I'm putting a 9.5 on it. Hey, quick time out here. Are you subscribed to the channel? It doesn't cost anything. It's free. Please do it. It helps us maintain the show at this level. That's it. That's all I got. Back to the clip. Bradley, if you could just go ahead and put the next prediction up. I know if you're listening on podcast, you don't understand why you can hear people laughing through the glass in the studio. But I'll tell you, Deacon from Fort Myers, Florida, has submitted the following bold prediction. Florida State wins the national championship. We assume he means in football. Drugs. Drugs. Stop it. Get some help. I had nothing. I wrote down drugs. That's all I wrote down. I just wrote down drugs. I have no notes. What am I supposed to say to that? I don't think he's serious, obviously. How many times would we need to simulate the season for this to happen? This would be, all right, however surprising Indiana is right now from last year. Jesse, how much more surprising do you think Florida State, led by Ashton Daniels, winning the national championship would be? I think it would. Cannell would admit this. Bryant McFadden would admit that. We got any of a number of former FSU greats that we could put on speakerphone, as unprofessional as it would be, and they would agree with me, drugs. They would agree that FSU winning the national title this year would be more surprising than Indiana doing it last year. Over-under win total 6.5, and that is with a relatively workable schedule, because we hit up FanDuel a couple of shows ago, if you missed this, and I said, give me Florida State's over-under win total if they played Florida's schedule. And it was 4.5. So that's how different, just difference of schedule made there. This is a 10, and it's insane. It's a cautionary tale on the fine line you have to walk between insanity and boldness in bold prediction season. And lastly, this one's really bold. Schaff from College Station, Texas. He said, I've been waiting on this. The Big 12 will get 2 teams in the playoffs. Neither one will be Texas Tech. That's a 9.5, possibly a 9.75. Either way, it qualifies for a chalice of supremacy if this hits. So I got a tough time seeing this, but let's walk through it. So Texas Tech clearly has the best odds out of the Big 12 to make the playoff. They have minus 400 odds to make the playoff. Plus 300 to miss if you want to bet that. More on that in a second. So Brigham Young is next best, and they're way behind Texas Tech. And then Utah is comparable to Brigham Young. Then there's another teardrop, and then there's Kansas State and Houston and like TCU. So 2 of these teams have to make the playoff while Texas Tech misses out. Now here's the good news. Keep these up, Bradley. Here's the good news. We went over to FanDuel and said, theoretically, if someone wanted to parlay this, could they? They said, yeah. So let's just for fun put this together. You can bet Texas Tech to miss the playoffs and Brigham Young and Utah to make the playoff. You could parlay that. I don't advise it, but you could. That would come with a little over plus 12,000 juice, which means a $10 bet on that would land you over $1,200 in return. Again, it's your money. It's not my money, but it does get a 9.5 on the boldness scale. Bold prediction seasons, like our version of the Dundies. It's a very magical time. Very unique and magical time.